he is not an attractive man. They're almost double in terms of age, right? This is a far younger woman, and prior to being with Kash Patel was working for PragerU. And if we look at who literally ran that organization, it was a former Israeli Unit 8200 leader. And so, again, these fingerprints are just all over everything. I thought I would just add that. Again, I don't want to be redundant. I want to be respectful of space and try to be concise. But, Diligent, I just wanted to throw that out there in case any of those points were kind of left off the table for anybody.
No, and we kind of explored the connections between the intelligence agencies, including Mossad and Ghislaine Maxwell's father last night. And even, Good Logic is a Jewish person, and he even conceded that, there was a connection between, Israeli intelligence and Ghislaine Maxwell, right? Like, I feel like I just want to make sure that we're that clear. I am not being partisan in that matter. I'm willing to explore avenues and lines of thought as long as they are grounded in some type of verifiable facts. And so, but thank you for that, Ian. Let's go ahead, Good Logic, and then we'll go to MG.
Just to follow up on that, I think that it's perfectly reasonable to explore whether Mossad or Israel agents are involved in Epstein. I question when people say that this is what it was rather than being CIA, FBI, MI6, or some consortium of these different intelligence agencies.
More than one thing can be true at the same time.
Right, and when people get fixated that it's about the Jews, then I start questioning. Okay, are you really looking for truth here, or are you looking to find someone that you can, a popular entity that you can point your finger at, which is great for getting clicks?
True, 100% true. Chad, I want to get your thoughts on all of this.
I couldn't get the microphone. Okay.
How you good, brother?
Well, I worked on the Trump campaign and still advocate, and but I've always been honest with people asking me questions, and ultimately, this is an abject failure. There's no other way to go about it. There is no other way to look at it. I don't know exactly whose feet this will fall at. I am by no means everybody. I'm seeing people out there. I'm ride or die with Trump. I'm ride or die with America. That's who I made my oath to. And ultimately, the problem I have with this, Diligent, and I work closely with General Flynn, and I understand the intel world. I understand MI6. I understand CIA, and you're never going to know unless somebody wants you to know, and then they're going to cloud what they put out. I mean, we've already seen that Prince Numbnuts over in England was there and was a part of it, and girls have come out and said he did X, Y, and Z. He's still walking around. It's all good. The system. We need to change the Lady Justice and take that blindfold and take one eye out from underneath that blindfold, because it is absolutely 100% multiple tiers of justice, whether it's Trump in the White House or anybody else. And that's been widely known for a long time, and some of us live in a bubble. But ultimately, I don't know whose feet this lies at, but I'll say this. This is the ugliest optics I've ever seen come out of the Trump campaign. And Karen Levette going up and hitting that lectern today, pompously saying, they did their job, it's done. It was an abject failure to the American people, and it brings us back to the binder rollout and everything else. And we're not used to seeing these kind of failures come out of a Trump universe, I keep looking for, okay, this seems like a failure, and Trump usually comes out on the other side of this. And I think that he will and he can, but I think what you're going to have is what I call the politician two-step. They're going to be quiet. They're going to let this die. There's going to be more things that are going to end up in the news cycle, and it's going to be that everyday post like we see on Twitter, like, hey, what about Fort Knox? Were we supposed to go in there? Hey, what about Fauci? It'll be a random post like that when there's something new and exciting to go at. I think this will last for a couple of weeks, and I think we're gonna. And I studied. I went on MSNBC, watched it for a couple hours. I watched CNN for a couple hours. I watched all of them. Nobody's talking about this, which tells me that they're all on the same page. Nobody wants to talk about Epstein. That is in the elites, in the media, whether it's Jews or